Okay. Vita. I'm gonna show y'all boys where I'm from, man. I'm from that.
What's it up, baby? Y'all didn't know. Big Boss House, Boss Dog, K-Po through the door. Here to talk to this boxer fucking about soliloquy. Remember, tough times don't last. Good people do. Don't off yourself. Call them in if I lie. Remember, you matter. Peak game. 84's on what? Swing. Your boy wasn't gonna make no content, for a couple of days. Then I saw this statement. I said, it gave me a little drive. I said, man, let me go and do this, bro. I was gonna wait a couple of days. I typically make content and I let it simmer for a couple of days, or when I feel that urge, you know what I mean? And, I ain't really feeling the urge, but this has to be addressed because, it's cap, bro. Now, in regards, if you are a Bud Booty Warrior, a.k.a. a Fleece Johnson, pause. You don't have to watch my video. You can exit out right now. This is your warning, right? This is your warning because it's finna get hot. Pause. Is in full effect. I'm finna start cooking. Chef K-Po is in full effect. Now, Terence Crawford. The brother's back at it again. So, he makes a statement via Ring Magazine. I posted basically the statement he made on my YouTube channel on the short part. You can look and see the pictures where you can post pictures. I posted what he said, okay? Terence Crawford says, and this is in regards to people calling him out to fight now. He says they're doing the right thing, okay? He's saying everybody that's calling him out, they doing what they're supposed to do. He also says that, but I had to put in work to get the big fights. They haven't done what I've done in the sport. And he was like, me going back and fighting guys like a Boots, right? And I don't think he mentioned names, but he said before that, hey, I don't see no point in me fighting Boots. He said, me going backwards and fighting those type guys, those type of fighters, it doesn't mean nothing to me. He said the biggest fight in boxing today is Canelo. Terence Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez is the biggest fight in the sport of boxing today. He's still holding on to that notion. So, let's start from the top, okay? We're going to go in order. So, he sit there and said that the guys calling him out is the right thing to do. I agree with that, okay? I definitely agree with that. But guys been calling him out. I've been telling y'all this for the longest time. But, the Bud Booty Warriors, the Fleece Johnsons, they don't want to listen. Nobody calling out Crawford. Man, people been calling him out. You know what I mean? So I don't understand it. But to stay on topic, they are doing the right thing. They won't smoke. They calling him out. They want to fight him. It's up to him to give them that opportunity, right? The second part, he says, I had to work hard to get the big fights. And there's an S on fights. There's no S on fights. You had one big fight, and that's against Errol, the Truth, Spence Jr., who gave you that opportunity, who sat there and said, you know what? Let's make this fight happen. Right? He went against the wishes of his management and said, you know what? Let's make this fight happen. Right? And the only reason why he went against the wishes of his management is because he wanted that fight. That's the only fight for him left at 147. He had a goal to be undisputed. He did everything he said he was going to do. Right? He told Crawford, I'm going to whoop these dudes over here, get these belts, and then you last. And that's just what happened. He fought Crawford last. He lost. End of discussion. Right? So now, why is Terence Crawford talking about big fights? You've been in one big fight, and that's Errol Spence. Right? I know y'all gonna say, oh, get him bored. Won the big fight. He fought Gamboa in Omaha, Nebraska. How's that a big fight? Huh? What big fights are you talking about? You get what I mean? What big fights are you alluding to? You know what I'm saying? You fought one big fight. That was Errol Spence. That's it. Milcom wasn't no big fight. Kell Brook wasn't no big fight. Sean Porter wasn't no big fight. Don't they keep going? Like, what are we doing? You see what I'm saying? Like, what are we doing? Because everybody knew the versions, and I'm just keeping it real. These are facts, okay? The versions of fighters that you fought when you fought them, one elite at that time. Or I won't even say, because you got some bud say Sean Porter was never elite. You know, Kell Brook was never elite. Fine. They weren't even good fighters. At that time, if you would have put them in there with a Boots, they wouldn't have beat Boots. That's all I'm saying. At that time of their career, at that point of their career, they wouldn't have beat no Boots. Now, when Errol fought them, they was good fighters. Some great. I think Kell Brook was on that borderline great. Kell Brook was a big welterweight, switch hit, had power in both hands, was crafty. Errol had to really work to beat Kell Brook. That was a tough fight. I'm telling you, when Errol fought Kell Brook, I was like, man, I don't know if you win that fight. I'm not even going to hold you. I was like, man, I respect Errol Spence because he want that smoke. But I was like, man, I don't know if he win that fight. I'm going to keep it a D-Wild with you. But he got the job done. You know what I'm saying? So the only big fight, to get back on topic, Terence Crawford been in is against Errol Spence. That's it. So how did you have to work hard to get big fights? Okay? Errol Spence, the only reason that fight happened to you and Errol Spence is because of Errol Spence. Errol Spence could have been like, F it, you ain't done what I done at this weight class. I don't need to fight you. And could have moved up on you and went to 54. But Errol Spence is such a stand-up dude, he said, you know what? I'm going to fight you. Because this is what I said. And I'm going to stand on what I say. I do what I say. So that statement is cap. When he talk about he had to work hard for the big fights. No, you didn't. What big fights? And then I find it ironic, a lot of the fights, he just be waiting. He waits for the opportunistic time, right? And then he want to fight people. He don't fight guys at their top. He don't fight guys when they blowing through people. Pause. When they running through people like diarrhea, he ain't fighting them at that time. We keeping it 1,000. I understand the Bud Booty Wars, the Fleece Dogs gonna get upset. Jay Will, you my bro. I hope you okay. I hope you recovering from Hurricane some with an M, I forgot. But I hope everything's okay with you. You know what I'm saying? But if you see this, just understand. Terence Crawford ain't, you know, this statement right here ain't making him look good right now. Point 3. He sat there and said the biggest fight in boxing is him and Canelo. No, it's not. The biggest fight in boxing is David Benavidez versus Canelo. That's the biggest fight in boxing, right? That's the fight everybody want to see. You don't hear too many people, besides the people that are your friends, talking about, I want to see Terence Crawford versus Canelo. Name somebody who is not Terence Crawford's friend who want to see Terence Crawford versus Canelo. Don't worry, I will wait. This is what I be talking about, the capery, right? I get it if everybody was talking about it. I'd be like, okay, it's nothing to refute. But everybody's not talking about it, bro. Only you and your friends are talking about it. Your homeboy, Shakur, he the one that put in the atmosphere. I think Terence Crawford could beat Canelo. You got Timothy, and this is the thing. This stuff with Terence Crawford is so outrageous. You got people actually believing that Terence Crawford can beat Floyd Mayweather, bro. I saw a dude say Terence Crawford could beat Floyd Mayweather. I almost lost my mind, bro. I ain't gonna hold you. I saw it on YouTube. I said, I'm not gonna hold you. I was about to. I was telling. I was like, Floyd? Terence Crawford beating Floyd? Come on, man. Prime Floyd? Stop playing, bro. Terence Crawford can't see Pretty Boy Floyd or Money Mayweather. I'm gonna leave it like that because that's beside the point. The fact of the matter is this, okay? The biggest fight in boxing is David Benavidez versus Canelo. That's the biggest fight in boxing, okay? Everybody want to see that fight. Everybody is asking for the fight. When you look at Canelo Alvarez, they always link him to who? David Benavidez. Tell me I'm lying. Somebody tell me I'm lying. When somebody say, Canelo, what's next for you? David Benavidez. They gonna bring up David Benavidez. I'm telling you that. He gets brought up. They don't be like, oh, you're gonna fight Crawford. It's on a handful of reporters I done seen that and brought up Terence Crawford, right? And those are mainly people who are cool with Terence Crawford. That's all I'm saying, bro. Terence Crawford versus Canelo is not the biggest fight in boxing. I'm telling you that right now. And then another thing, how you gonna sit there and try to little boy, Boots and everybody else, Virgil Ortiz and, and the list goes on. Teofimo Lopez, right? And you talking about there's nothing for me to gain in those fights. Yeah, it is. You don't have names on your resume, sir. You have accomplishments. We will agree with that. We'll sit there and say, Terence Crawford has all the accolades and accomplishments. He does. He has an SP. He's 2-time undisputed. He's a 4-weight division champion. We're going to give him that credit. And we're going to give him his flowers. Pause. But you don't have names on your resume. Your resume is kind of watered down. You got people actually out here sitting there saying, you only fight dudes when there's something wrong with them. You know what I'm saying? Think about it like this. Everybody been saying Canelo Alvarez is on the decline, right? Everybody saying that, right? When Canelo Alvarez was Canelo Alvarez, like he was sparking people. Like when he knocked out Amir Khan and left that boy dead in the ring, why Terence Crawford didn't want to fight him then? Huh? Canelo's at 154. He won at 160. He won at 168. He was at 154. Terence Crawford was at 140. Why didn't he say, you know what? That's the biggest fight in boxing for me. I want to fight that Canelo. I'm just saying, we gonna spin it. Since y'all like to spin it, I'ma spin it. Why Terence Crawford didn't fight Canelo when he was sparking people, leaving them laying on the ground with their eyes open? Somebody answer that question. Why he want to fight him now? Why is now the perfect time to fight Canelo Alvarez? That's all I'm saying, right? If I was Crawford, I would look to fight a fighter who's on the incline, like a Boots. You see what I'm saying? That's a big fight. Now, Terence Crawford, it's obvious. He trying to get paid. That's it. It's clear as day. He's trying to get paid, bro. That's what he's trying to do. He ain't like, oh, I could beat Canelo. He want to get paid. That's what it is. Because he feel like, look, I'm 37 years old. I'm 2-time undisputed. I got this. I've done this. I've done that. I've done blah, blah, blah in the sport of boxing. I need to get compensated. So he wants that $10 million payday. I'm telling you, that's a victory for him if he get that Canelo fight. Win, lose, or draw. Why? He gonna get $10 million. He can retire off of that. And he living in Omaha. He ain't living in Vegas. He living in Omaha, Nebraska. I don't know what the cost of living is, but I doubt it's expensive in Omaha, Nebraska. So the cost of living probably ain't even that bad. I ain't gonna hold you. So he probably living good, feeling good over there in Omaha, Nebraska. We're gonna keep it 1,000. He knows if he get that 10 million, it's gonna take him to another stratosphere. Right? He will retire off of that. But it's like, why are you sitting here doing these things to these fighters who feel like they can beat you? Right? And it's an opportunity for you to show that, hey, I'm Terence Crawford. I'm still that dude. It don't matter how old I get. I'm still that dude. It gives you the opportunity to basically let these boys know, hey, you ain't ready yet. Okay? As a fan of boxing, I want to see these fights. I want to see Terence Crawford versus Boots. I think that's a good fight. I think you can make a lot of coin for that fight. I'm not going to hold you. I think that's a good fight. Is it the biggest fight in boxing? No. But you can make a good amount of money fighting that fight. People going to come out and see that. If Terence Crawford today said, I'm fighting Jambu Ennis, I'm telling you, many people will go to that fight. You got a skillful young boxer, and then you got an old, experienced, skillful boxer who has high boxing IQ. That's a great matchup. What's the problem? All this talk about, oh, he ain't ready yet. Okay, let's see it. Let's see if he not ready yet. I want to see it. I don't understand what the problem is. Let's see it. Let me see. You know what I'm saying? You versus Teofimo Lopez. I definitely want that fight. Let's see it. That's a big fight. That fight might be actually bigger than the Boots fight. Why? Because there's going to be actual beef. It's going to be a lot of talking. You know what I'm saying? Teofimo going to sell that fight. So what? What's the holdup? Why you turning into a prima donna once you made it to a certain stage? Didn't you complain about fighters that act like that? You was accusing Errol Spence of acting like that, which Errol wasn't acting like that. You was accusing PBC fighters for acting like that, which none of them weren't acting like that. But you come out here and you do the exact same thing that you claim these other fighters were doing. Like I said before, man, Buddy didn't get his mind right. Terence Crawford need to man up, fight Boots, man up, fight Teofimo Lopez, man up, fight Jamel Charlo, man up, fight Erickson Lubin, man up, fight Brian Castano, Brian Mendoza, man up, fight Sebastian Fundora, because he chose to let that negotiation just go down the drain. I want to see you in big fights. You talking about, oh, I worked hard for the big fights. Okay, whatever. If you in your mind feel like you have big fights, cool. You got all the fights that you can make right now. You can make all these fights right now. Everybody want to fight you. This is the opportunity to cement your legacy even more. This boy here, right? Y'all let me know what y'all think. Boss, go.